Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Larry Flick. I'll be your professor for Principles of Management this summer. I wanted to introduce myself, talk a little about the course, and take you on a tour of our Blackboard class site. First, I want you to recognize that we will be covering the same material this summer in 9 weeks that normally would be covered in a regular 17-week semester. So you will need to spend more time than usual. Second, if you stick with me on the following tour of our Blackboard class site, you will save a lot of time going forward through the semester. Let's get into the tour. Hello again. Let's start with the tour of our Blackboard class site. Here it is, the announcements page, which you will always land on when you first come into Blackboard. So I put up a new announcement every Monday, usually before 9 o'clock, that will give you the assignments for the week and any other information related to the prior week or weeks going forward or what have you. So I want you to, every time you check in, I want you to read the announcements, please. At the bottom here, I put a couple of sayings that I think are important. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. And I'll do everything I can to light a fire under you. Tell me, and I forget. Teach me, and I remember. Involve me, and I learn. I hope to involve you in this course for sure. If it matters to you, you will find a way. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. Well, I thought those were kind of interesting. So every time you come in, you go to the announcements page. The second item on the class menu here is syllabus and schedules. So let's take a look. There's the syllabus, there's the class schedule, the college schedule, and just something down here, a graphic that I thought you'd find interesting. Let's take a look at the syllabus. Here again, here's the syllabus, my home phone number, my cell number. Please just use the cell number because I always have it with me. Here's the college email, but I prefer you use the Blackboard message system. That's the only way I can keep track of things, and I look at that more frequently than my college email address. So I want you to read the syllabus. It's important, going all the way down and through it. It's not that long. What's important, I think, is the grades. There'll be 8 quizzes worth 60% of your grade. There'll be 1 paper on employee evaluations worth 10%, an exercise, the patent exercise, worth 10%, and the discussion board questions worth 20%. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so that's the syllabus. Now, if we go over and go back to that link in the main menu, we're going to take a look at the class schedule. Okay, here's the class schedule. It's a week-by-week summary of every single assignment and everything that you'll be required to do to complete the course in 9 weeks. You'll see there's 9 weeks here, so with this, you'll know exactly what's coming and when the quizzes are and all the assignments and so forth. Okay, let's go back. After the class schedule, we have the college schedule, which is important. June 1st, the classes begin and so forth. You might use this at some point in the future, okay? So basically, that kind of completes what I want to talk about here in the syllabus and schedules. So let's go down to course content here. Now, right at the top, you'll see getting started. That's important. And that's where you would go initially once you look at the announcements page. So basically, it's getting started, purchase the textbook, and here's a whole bunch of things to get you started with. And here's, down below here is information on the textbook, exactly what book we'll be using, and there's a link up here if you wanted to buy it directly from Cengage. Otherwise, I'd encourage you to buy it from our bookstore. But in any case, there's a link there for that. So there's, again, our class schedule. Well, let's go back to getting started. I don't think I've finished. There's underneath the textbook information, there's a MindTap registration video instructions. I think it's a pretty good video about how to get into MindTap, which we won't be doing exercises and tests and quizzes or anything like that in MindTap, but you'll have the ebook and you'll be able to do a lot of things there. And then underneath that, there's a worksheet that I did that's entitled Effort versus Outcomes, and here, if you do all these things, there's some things that are required, recommended, and optional, and if you do them all, you can expect a possible grade of an A or B, and here's some more explanation about it, and I think it'd be worth your time to go and take a look at that. And that, here again, is under Course Content, under Getting Started. It's this effort versus outcomes. Here is a wonderful reading method that will help you to study if you feel you need some support. And then here's a Blackboard exam tutorial. It will help you in taking the quizzes. If you haven't taken any Blackboard exam or quizzes, that's a great tutorial. And then here's information on Cengage technical support and TRCC support. So that all comes under Course Content and Getting Started. Now here's the class schedule again. I won't click on it because we covered it before. But the next one down the list in Course Content is Principles of Management. Now, this link will get you directly into the Principles of Management MindTap experience. And it's not showing right now, but let's go into Course Content again, and let's see if we can make that work. Principles of Management. There we go. So this is the MindTap and learning, and here's the complete, not syllabus, but schedule of chapters and things like that. Let's click, on part 1, and that just includes chapter 1, and let's look at that. And here we go. Read the chapter. It's your chapter 1 of the ebook, and then there's a bunch of different items below that. If you click on here, you can. These are all practice, okay? As you'll see here. Here's an assignment that you're welcome to do, a case activity. Here's important things, I think, to help study for the quizzes. Here's flashcards for chapter 1, and they're, as you go along down this menu, there's flashcards for each chapter. Here's lecture slides. These are PowerPoints for each chapter. A great way of studying for the quizzes you're going to have at the end of each week. And then here's Practice It, which you can actually go into and practice taking test questions, and each one you'll learn the correct answer, and that doesn't count. It's a practice, and again, a great way to study for the quizzes. All of the quiz questions come from a test exam folder within our MindTap publisher, okay? And so any of these practice test questions will come from the main folder. So when it comes to the actual quiz where you get graded on, the more of these little practice exams you take, the more you might be able to recognize the questions and, of course, get the answers correct. So And then there's additional resources for each chapter here again. There's concept clips, a bunch of them on different subjects. And then here's one of the videos. Of course, you can watch all of these videos and stuff. They're interesting, but the ones that you'll be graded on in the within our system here will be. I'll cover that in a few moments. Okay, so here another thing I wanted to say is here's a getting started, an introduction to MindTap, which is really good, and I would encourage you to click on that. Okay, let's go back to again the course content, and what I'm going to do here. Again, I'm going to emphasize this. You need to click on this to get into MindTap and register. So once you click on this, it'll take you through the registration process quite easily. So as I mentioned before in the class schedule, here's week 1 all the way through week 9. And just to give you a sample, if you look at week 1, here's a copy of the schedule for week 1, and I'm always going to have a motivational quote. If you're unwilling to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary. And I hope you'll find those interesting. Here again, this link, when you go into the week by week, this link will take you directly to chapter 2. This link will take you to this discussion board. Here's the lecture slides. Those are PowerPoints, great for studying for the quizzes. Here's a link to the flashcards, and then, of course, the quiz itself. So you'll find all of that under course content week by week. So that's going to be one that you'll use a lot. Now I want to talk about the discussion board. Every chapter, you'll see chapters 1 through 15. They'll have, I'm going to click on chapter 1. They'll have a beginning thread, chapter 1, on the job, Barcelona restaurant. Now that's a video I want you to watch. If you click on that, you'll go to this video. Now, once you watch the video in the discussion board, you'll be asked to answer these questions. In what ways is Barcelona management approach consistent with modern developments in management, and so forth? There's going to be 3 questions per, and I'll be looking and reading them thoroughly. You won't receive immediate feedback from me on your responses. I will get back to you, particularly if they're less than par or insufficient, but if you make a good faith effort, you'll do quite well. Okay, now let's go back to the course content again. I think we've covered everything that we need to know there. Okay, we've talked about the discussion board, which we went to a moment ago. Now, the WebEx meeting room. If you ever want to talk to me, all we need to do is set up a time, say Tuesday at 3 or whatever time it is, and you need to just message me, are you available at 3 o'clock for a WebEx meeting? And I can tell you yes and so forth, or no, let's make it 4 or something like that. We'll set up a time between us, and if you click on this link, which we will both do at a preset time, we can just chat and share our screens, and if you have any issues, I probably can help you using Blackboard by sharing screens and so forth. Okay, so that's that. Now here's the messages, okay? What I want you to know, okay, is to create a message, you would go up to this link right up here, okay, when you create a message. Now, you're going to want to send it to somebody. Here are all the students in our class. Now, if you want to send a message to me, I want you to click Larry Flick Instructor, okay? And then you have to move it over to the recipients, okay? Then what you need to do is create a subject, okay? And then once you do the subject, you would create the message. Want you to know that you can include attachments with your message. For instance, I'm asking you to give me a short bio of yourself and attach a picture, a recent picture. And I'll create a page where, we'll have all of our students with their pictures and their short bios. So in the hopes that you feel like we're in a real class and we have people who are in the class with you and can help you and you can communicate with them and so forth. Then all you need to do is submit, and that would take care of that. Now, the rest of them, let's just go to college policies. We have college policies, CSCU online help desk, TRCC student resources, the college directory, and so forth. In any case, those are all links that I have no control over, but I would encourage you to become familiar with. Okay, well that completes our tour of the class site. Please, if I've missed anything, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, bye for now.